you trying to write a resume but feel stuck because you don't have any work experience at all? You're actually not alone, and I promise you that you have plenty to include. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to create a resume with zero job experience, and we're going to do this the right way. I'm going to show you a real high school graduate who landed multiple college acceptances, scholarships, as well as his first part-time job by showcasing his transferable skills, his school activities, his leadership experience, communication, and critical thinking skills. So whether you are a student in high school or recently graduated, the structure is going to work the same. I'm going to show you how to highlight your education, volunteer work, your passions, your interests, your extracurriculars, your technical skills, and your personal strength so that your resume looks confident and professional even without a lick of a job history. So let's jump in next, and I'm going to show you exactly what to include section by section. This is a resume that I created for my client. I do put a little bit of color on resumes. I do put some shading on there. And yes, you can have it. It does work for applicant tracking systems if you do it correctly. Sadly, a lot of people just don't do it correctly. They try to show, put some tables, some text boxes and columns and stuff like that. It doesn't work. I'll do another video about showing how to add a little bit of color to these resumes without it negatively affecting the applicant tracking systems. But for this, I'm going to show you this one because this is his resume. There's a couple things I added to this one for his job versus his scholarships and his college opportunity. So the first thing is a title. Now, if you're you're using this resume to apply for a college or a scholarship, you're not going to have this title up there, okay? This is for when he was looking for a job. Easily, it's the same resume. You can just take this one line off for those college and scholarship resumes. But this is the one when you look for a job, you definitely want to say like who you are, right? He wanted to get a part-time customer service role when he went to college, and that way he could finance some of his own living expenses. So this is why that title is on there for this, but all you have to do is, bam, if you don't hey, I'm not going to go ahead, I'm not going to have a title on there because this resume is for a scholarship or college, easily pull it off, okay? So this is why that's on there, so I can kind of show you both ways to do this. Now, at the top, always a professional summary. I would like to call your elevator pitch. Everything who you are holistically kind of wrapped up here. So it's a little bit of a summary like, hey, professional, able to manage multiple and concurrent tasks, projects and activities, respond to emerging situations, build community and professional rapport, participate in events, and deliver presentations and value propositions. And possesses a reputation for integrity and ethics, collaborates with team members, and proactively expands knowledge of new concepts, skills, and technologies. And this is something you might say, wow, I do not have that. But as I go further in this, I'm going to show you that he did have this, and you probably do too throughout all of your high school experience, and whether that be some extracurriculars that you did, your volunteers, your clubs, whatever the case may be. So I do put some keywords up there, right? Kind of what the jobs that he might be applying for, or even colleges and scholarships. These are all things they're kind of looking for. Hey, okay, kind of a summary. They can look at it above the fold here. If you're, kind of thinking in terms of like marketing and stuff like that, it's right at eye level what that means. It's right at eye level. It's like, hey, this is everything this person can do. And then we have to prove it. So we're going to get to that in just a second. The next thing you want to have is your education. That's going to take center stage here, right? You just graduated or you're currently in high school. So we're going to put that first, okay? Your high school diploma, and if you graduated cum laude, if you're still in high school, you can put in progress. High school diploma in progress. And then right underneath that, you put your high school and the city and state and the graduation date. And then I like to double up here. I'm going to go into all the detail about all of his activities and honors a little bit below, but I'm giving that snapshot. In high school, he was a member of the varsity baseball, theater, which is theater tech, and a little bit of stage performance, NHS, National Honor Society, your GPA, of course, and then if you have any class ranking, you want to put that up there as well. Now we go a little bit further in terms of high school activities and leadership, and this is where we're going to go into a lot more detail, and we're going to prove down here all the skills he gained, which led to our summary at the top. The first thing is NHS, National Honor Society. So when you are a member of National Honor Society, they're looking for your grades, your scholarship, your leadership service, and your character. So we're going to echo a lot of this in here. I always start every single job history, or in this case, high school activities, I always start with an overarching statement and kind of what that person did. So in his case, he was inducted into the National Honor Society during his sophomore year, and he remained an active member in good standing throughout his high school career due to all the things NHS looks for and in their students and their inductees. A lot in NHS, if you don't keep up your grades, or if you're not serving as a positive member of that student body, they can take you out of it. So I wanted to make sure that the reader of this knows that he was an active member in good standing and throughout his high school career. Now, with NHS, there's a lot of things they do. They did blood drives. They did like little tours for the junior high students. And they coordinated some teacher appreciation events. So let's go into detail about how that translates over. So we actually put first bullet here, supported blood drives on the Gulf Coast Regional Blood Center, donated blood, escorted students in and out of the classrooms to the blood drives while meeting schedules. These are things that you have to do, these soft skills that you're developing. Let's bring them to the forefront. Let's put them in writing here. Remaining organized. If you're managing multiple students, multiple schedules, you're trying to help out with this, you have to be organized. Answering questions regarding blood donation processes and easing people's anxiety levels, right? Who says, yes, let's go stick a needle in me? No, so they're going to have questions, they're going to have concerns. So he actually worked with them to kind of showcase like, hey, this is okay, these are anxiety levels. These are all transferable skills. Meeting schedules, remaining organized, answering questions, talking to people, making them feel comfortable. Second, he actually served as a tour guide and presenter and speaker to junior high prospective students as they visited this high school. So he was able to share some of his personal stories, share the opportunities the school had, like in terms of their clubs, their honors, their benefits, their sports, and sharing personal stories of life in high school and elevating their excitement about being whatever the name of the high school mascot. So you can kind of see that, and these are transferable skills. It's basically public speaking, persuasive speaking, value propositioning. So if you think of all of the soft skills that this person has learned by strictly doing these general things in high school that they were a part of. And the third one is, for this one, is coordinated teacher appreciation activities and events. Bake some dishes, coordinating setups and teardowns, and responded to emerging needs during each event. So as you're putting this together, you're like thinking of, what did I do? You weren't just a member of the National Honor Society. You can go into more detail and explain about all the activities that you led or participated in and really speak about those so the reader understands your background and your personal story. So then we drop down to theater tech at the high school. He led some activities and operations to produce some plays and musicals, including, we named them out. So as both part of the technical and talent team. So when they do a lot of these conventions and workshops, you have to be on your best behavior. You have to represent the school in theater professionally. And so we put that in there. Hey, I represented the school. I was selected for reading and ensemble roles. And this shows, again, public speaking. Successfully constructed, painted, and transported sets within aggressive deadlines, back to these deadlines and managing multiple priorities, using manual and electric tools, working late, and balancing an honors course load. So I want to make sure that he's flexible. Like, hey, you know what? I'm able to work late. I'm able to balance this. So the reader of this, whether or not he's applying to a college or work, they're like, okay, this person can balance different things. They can manage schedules. They can meet deadlines. They can talk to people. They can ease anxiety levels. They're going to be a positive representative of our organization or our school. So this is how you really kind of deep dive into this and really think about your experience throughout high school. It doesn't need to be one line. Now, marketed plays, your musicals, events, and theater department, right? By placing flyers around the school, you have to market this stuff, right? Participating in neighborhood events, including Halloween and themed community activities, and sharing performances. So this kind of brings up something we haven't had the opportunity to talk about, which is more marketing. Let's say he wanted to get a job in customer service, which is what this was. Hey, I can market, right? I can showcase your organization both in and outside of when I'm working. I'm going to be a positive representative. If you need me to go out and throw some flyers out of one of our promotions in the store, I can do that for you. And the third one is going to be his baseball player. Mention the center fielder and catcher. And the reason I'll just say a baseball player, I like to go into detail about positions. It just kind of helps the reader when they're reading this. They start envisioning these roles and things like that. And when people are painting a picture in their brain, when they're reading your resume, it engages them. It makes them excited to be a part of this document. It makes them excited to meet you. So you can give a little bit more of that illustration in there and go into a little bit more detail. So this person is like, oh, wow, this is really interesting. And any honors, again, ranked second place in this. He was initiated and performed offensive and defensive plays, listening to coaches, responding to situations, following the team's practices and playbooks. one thing is common theme in this, right, is that he can respond to deadlines, emerging situations, right? Listen to multiple parties and get the job done. And then, of course, and then we have the participated in the field readiness by placing tarps, watering the grass in the field, placing chalk lines and bases, and tamping the soil. So field readiness is a part of it, right? It's not just going out there and playing the game. So guess what? Hey, this person can go a little bit above and beyond, okay? If I need to, stay after, let's go ahead and do some of the not fun work, right? Like watering and placing chalk and things like that. And hey, I'm ready for you. I've done it. And then you've got technical skills. Put them at the bottom. Let everyone know that you've got them. So anything that you've learned, put them at the bottom here and showcase that. So this is a strong one-page resume of a person with 0 work experience. So go into detail, talk about your amazing stuff, and put it on paper. So that's how you build a professional, credible resume without any paid experience at all. What matters most is how you frame what you've done, not where you've done it. So think of your school projects, your volunteer work, your sports, your clubs, your personal projects, your games that you like to play, and how they've taught you teamwork, problem solving, communication, ability to meet deadlines. So if you found this helpful, please hit the like button and the subscribe button for more resume tips, LinkedIn and professional branding tips, as well as job search advice. Real world job search advice is going on out there. And I am Bridget Batson, a certified master resume writer, a certified executive resume master, a certified graphic resume architect, certified professional resume writer, nationally certified online profile expert, certified employment interview professional, owner of Houston Outplacement here in Houston, Texas, but I help clients across the nation, actually across the globe now. And I'm also certified to administer the Myers-Briggs Strong Interest Inventory. Please reach out to me, links below, HoustonOutplacement.com to book my services. I also have a content hub with tons of information on there if you prefer reading. That is www.bridgetbatson.com. Links are in my description. I would love to have you visit me there. And of course, you can always add me and follow me on LinkedIn. I do provide advice. Thank you so much for watching.